Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. This is Homa Bay Unplugged, voices from the heart of the lake. And as you know, in each and every episode, we bring you change makers, people who are doing remarkable things in the society. And I'll reiterate once again that Homa Bay Unplugged is a vision board or a story as told by this young man from Homa Bay who's sharing his worldview on a canvas with the different people and intellects that he meets across the board. And on this particular episode, we take it across the board, across borders. In Uganda, we are taking it north in Lira, where we meet this amazing techpreneur who's changing the world and changing our worldview and changing perspectives on how we think in matters tech. And today's episode, we have Sedrick. We'll dive into this and get to know more about him, his worldview, his vision, how all these things came to be, and how he's winning awards left, right, and center. Thank you, Cedric.
I am really humbled by your introduction, and it's nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet
I
you too.
I'm humbled actually to be in Nairobi, and I've been following your videos. I've been
Yes.
following your stuff online, and today I'm here.
I'm
Physically, it's my first time
grateful.
to Kenya.
Oh, awesome.
I've never been to Kenya. It's actually my
Awesome.
first time to any African country.
But you just
besides
doing
Uganda.
overseas and
Yes,
global
I've been-
countries.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, actually, I went
That's
to.
so interesting.
I went to Egypt. No, it
Yeah.
was just a stopover in Egypt.
Yeah.
For like 3-4 hours
Yeah.
and stuff. So I wouldn't count that in.
Yeah.
But I've been here 3 days now.
Yeah.
So pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so amazing. So many people know about innovation,
Yeah.
but not so many people know about the journey or when it all started. So I'd want us to take it back and like who said it as a kid, and then because I know like even like from research and what you got that you lost your parents really early and you grew up in
An orphanage.
yes in different difficult circumstances in an orphanage, and then what are these moments that really shaped your life to who you are now as Cedric?
Well, that's a heavy question.
Yeah,
I would even talk about it the whole day, provided
Yes.
I have time.
yeah, we have all the time.
Yes, and let me just begin on the note that when people talk about innovation, people think it's technology.
Yeah,
I mean, to me, innovation is not technology. To me,
yeah,
innovation is how you solve old problems with new ideas.
wow, how you solve all problems with new ideas.
Yes, because I might be someone who's making Rolex
Yeah,
or chapati
oh,
by
yes.
the roadside.
Yeah.
And in Uganda, we have like millions of them. Like
Yeah.
so many people making Rolexes.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to be a little bit innovative by applying new solutions, new ways of making my Rolex
Yeah,
in a way that it sounds a bit different from how people were doing. Or let's say people didn't like the version that was there. You come up with something bit new. It's not like 100% new, something bit unique from how it was being done
Yeah.
to make the problem that was people were experiencing
Yeah.
be solved in a better and easier way. Now there is no technology involved. So when people think about innovation, people think it's fancy Elon Musk, Tesla, people thinking about EV cars and stuff. It's just how you solved old problem with new ideas in a different way that people are doing it. And yeah, growing up, I lost my dad when I was 4 years old. That was way back, I think in early 2000s. And good enough, by the grace of God, I was taken up by an orphanage that is in Collet district. I would say Lira, very close to Lira. And I was there for 13 years.
wow.
I remember one day I
started the orphanage.
Yeah, the orphanage, and
Wow.
they took care of me. I started learning about, God,
Yeah,
learning about how to be with people because I was very wild in the village. I was 7 years old when I went to the orphanage.
Wow.
I was very wild. I used to do lots of funny things. If my mom tells me the story, some of them I know.
yeah,
And when I joined the orphanage, things started changing. I remember I was the last in class.
no,
Yes, this is not like motivational stories,
Yes,
but
yes.
these are real things. That was 16th of July 2007 when I
Yeah.
joined the orphan. I think it was a Wednesday or something.
yeah,
And I was in P4, but because I could not cooperate and just be like a P4 person, I could not read any name.
yeah,
They took me back to P2.
wow,
just within 2 days.
Wow.
And then I willingly told the teacher that, let me go back to P1 because P2 really seems to be very hard because I was in a village school,
Yeah.
but this was a modern school.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started on P2. I was second last in my class.
Yeah.
That was second term. That was around July. P3, you know, P4, things changed drastically. I remember I was in position 6
Yeah.
in my class in P4. And then I'd never scored math above 70 in P6 term 1. I got 71. It was on news.
Yeah.
I was so happy. I was so excited. I was like the most craziest person that time.
Yeah.
And then in my P7 final exams, gracefully I passed. You know, I passed with aggregate 7, first grade.
Yeah.
And joined secondary, you know, A level, finished senior 4. Do you guys have like senior 4 here?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Finished
Yes,
senior 4.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I went to A level.
Yeah.
I stopped in senior 5. I didn't go to senior 6.
Oh.
And when I was in senior 5, I had to drop back from senior 5 to come and start by doing a certificate because of that was 2018. And it was a time that I used to preach a lot at church and school every time I'm speaking to students.
Yeah.
But this time around, I had nobody to talk to. It's just me and my aunt. And my aunt was a secretary at Lira City, Lira district by then.
Yeah.
So I borrowed her computer.
Yeah.
I wrote a book called Being Victorious.
Wow.
And the book had about 120 pages. So I printed the book. It had so many errors.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, I'm just going to do this. I can't talk to my mom every day. So let me just put my thoughts in writing.
Yeah.
And just, you know, tell people how to win in difficult situations. And I was the bro going through the deepest moments because I wasn't sure whether I was going back to school and stuff.
Yeah.
So I joined school. I joined Eastbat University
Yeah.
to pursue a professional certificate in software engineering. So I started from there.
So like from you did A level.
No, I didn't finish.
Oh, you didn't finish.
I didn't finish A level.
Okay.
That's why I came back and I started from certificate.
Okay.
And then I enrolled for a diploma.
Yeah.
You know, diploma. I enrolled for diploma in networking and cybersecurity.
Yeah.
And then I enrolled for bachelor's degree in AI and machine learning.
Yeah.
And around that time, 2019 again, 2020, I wrote my second book.
Wow.
That's called Building Great Character. And was published. And then again in 2024, I was able to publish second edition of my second book. And that one was very mature, very sound. And that has been my story. And the innovations we're talking about, like we started the whole journey way back when I was in high school.
Yeah.
I remember we won the Ugandan competition and we represented Uganda in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
2017. The same 2017, we participated in high school competitions in robotics and stuff. And I remember again, we won the following year. We were supposed to go to Mexico for the Global Challenge, but we didn't make it. But along the process, it's been participating in what really makes me stand out. And to me, that's how I built a name in tech, innovation, and entrepreneurship. So that has been my small journey. There's a lot in between, but let me stop there.
Yeah. So at this time, maybe when you're young, did you always dream about being involved in tech, or what was the spark in the moment, like in all these early stages of life? How did it come about to now you wanting to be interested in tech?
I don't want to lie.
Yeah.
Quick one. P2, I wanted to be a driver. My dad was a bus driver.
Yeah.
P4, I wanted to be a pilot. We used to have small planes pass over villages.
Still passengers, at least still passengers are involved.
Yes, P6, I wanted to be a doctor. If you go on the internet, you're going to find that video.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Sedrick and I want to be a doctor.
Yeah.
Senior 1, I built a big passion for computers.
Yeah.
I remember in P6, they started teaching us how to type on a computer.
Yeah.
And what I did crazy was I was able to type on a computer at 65 words per minute in P6.
Wow.
And I used to disturb my teacher, was called teacher Stephen. There was Stephen, and then forgotten the other teacher's name. And they loved me because of the ability to learn fast. Senior 1, I just adapted to IT, and in 2017 was a turning point.
Yeah.
Where I participated in January 2017. I participated in a technology camp.
Yeah.
That in Gulu, northern Uganda, that we were tasked to join robotics class, software class, or video game class for 2 weeks of learning. So I decided to go for a video game class. I did a video game, 3D video game in Unity, in C#. I'd never coded before.
Yeah.
And my game was the best.
Yeah.
I built a 3D model of a game that has to be played at the replica of the orphanage I grew up in.
Wow.
So you can literally play the game as you visit the old orphanage.
Wow.
And unfortunately, I lost the source code, but I still have, I think I still have the version of the game somewhere online.
Yeah.
So that is when I realized that I think I need to take this IT thing serious. And it just blew up my mind 2017, 18. And that's when I really, really started doing all this ICT stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. And then we'll just jump right into it. So,
Yes.
after you finished, when was Kakebe?
Oh, Kakebe,
Yes,
yes.
yeah. How did it come about,
So
and when
Kakebe,
was it founded?
I have a friend called Stephen Ogweno.
Yes.
Stephen we went to the same high school.
Yeah.
From senior 1 to like senior 4.
Yeah.
So in 2018 is when I joined to do my certificate in software engineering.
Yeah.
And Stephen used to call me, Sedrick, I'm trying to do this programming. I was his mentor.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
How do I do this? How do I do this? I used to guide him because he had just joined.
Yeah.
But one day when COVID hit, Stephen told me, Stephen used to run to my hostel, let's work on this, let's do this stuff.
Yeah.
But he had a dream. He had a dream that we need to do some stuff.
Yeah.
He had a dream to sell things online. That is e-commerce business.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he came to me at the beginning of 2020 when COVID just hit.
Yes.
And said, Sedrick, you're the only person I can talk to this about. Like, I built this e-commerce platform. I'm calling it Kakebe Shop.
Yeah.
Like, I just want people to sell things online.
Yeah.
I looked at that and I was like, bro, this is something big we can do.
Yeah.
He invited me and says, I want to launch it. How can I do it?
Yeah.
We sat down and we saw that that thing was beyond the launching. He said, no, we need to do, let's open a company. Let's start a business. Let's start a company and see we don't need to stop at this e-commerce. Let's do something bigger in tech. I'm a tech person, you're a tech genius, you're looking at e-commerce. Let's look at a bigger picture.
Yeah.
So when we went to URSB, Uganda Registration Bureau Service, for registering the company, we submitted in 3 names: Kakebe Technologies, Kakebe Online Business, and Kakebe Online Services. Good enough, they denied those other 2 and they gave us Kakebe Technologies.
Ah.
Now, me and him, we said, you're going to be co-founder, I'm co-founder.
Yeah.
So let's start the business. And that is how the genesis of Kakebe started earlier when COVID hit. It was the intention that let's make people buy things online because there is no option.
Yeah.
But now it turned out to be not just about online purchase, but it turns out to be a big company that is now dealing with tech services and tech products around northern Uganda.
Ah,
That's how Kakebe Technologies started.
Okay. So what does Kakebe mean?
Kakebe, now interesting.
Yeah.
Now, we have about 56 languages in Uganda.
Yeah.
Now, in Luganda, when you say Kakebe, means a small tin.
Ah. Okay.
In my language, when you say Kebe,
Yeah.
it means a tin.
Ah. Okay.
When you say Kakebe, it means a place to keep tins.
Wow.
When you go to other languages, other tribes, they will also say Kakebe means tin. Like there's something to do with the tin.
As in Swahili or in Kenya, we call it mkebe.
You see now, now, so we wanted it to be, this is a place where, you know, a tin, you keep many things.
Yes.
But for us, it's a tin of technology. Everything is found in one spot.
Yeah.
That's the motive. And there was a game we used to play as little kids called Kakebe. So this is a game where you hide in the bush, you put a tin, you know, outside. So you have to run to make sure if someone sees you, for example, in the bush hiding, they have to run back and hit the bottle and say, Kakebe means they've seen you. Ah, so if you've been seen already, you have to come back and assemble where the tin is. Now, if there's one person left, he has to run. Run and come and kick the bottle and saves everybody, and everybody goes back hiding.
Wow.
But the funny thing with us was we could go hiding in someone's neighborhood, in someone's home. You just be there watching TV and someone's looking for you the whole day. And you just, bro, you're just watching TV and we're here looking for you. So that's how we just came up with the name Kakebe.
Okay.
Yes.
And then at those times, were there like any gaps that you saw in terms of like tech and technology? That
we didn't have any company doing any business doing tech and in the region. Not in the entire region, but especially in Lango sub-region, which has a composition of around 10 districts. And we just needed to do something as people who understand tech and from we're born to the central, the capital, and we need to do something home. That was the motive. And the main motive that started was, of course, the COVID that hit, and we needed things to be bought online. So that was the genesis.
And then in terms of also tech and also the innovations that you're trying to do, there is one of the companies that you are dealing with preg care and maternal health and all that. How did that come about from just having a hub of technologies and now you are in maternal care?
Now that one I'll just speak very small about it
Yeah,
because it's a project that we did in 20. I remember 2020 when COVID hit.
yeah,
I and my friends, group of friends, Emmanuel, Jeremiah, and stuff, we wanted to do
yeah,
something to do with pregnant women.
yeah,
How do we monitor the health of pregnant women? How are they, in the villages because they don't have internet access. But we want doctors to still monitor them. So we're using radio technology to
yeah,
have sensors pick information, send it remotely to the gateway, and then release it back on internet to the doctors.
yeah,
And that was a project that hit a
yeah,
lot.
yeah,
It became a big news in the country. I think that was 2021. And I was able to win a presidential award on that project. And yeah, it was supposed to come with huge funding. Yeah, but the funding part, we don't want to say it on
yeah.
camera. Yeah, I mean,
We're gonna
something
go
happened
to
along
it.
the way,
Yes,
and
yes,
yeah, but it's a
yeah,
project that I put on hold.
yeah,
But a few weeks back, we had to revive the discussion and saying how do we push that project forward. Yeah,
yeah.
but I don't want to talk about it more.
Yeah, so it's okay, but I think we'll just take a caveat to it.
Yes.
In terms of like many African innovators, they struggle with funding. And then what is the biggest myth that you see about being a techpreneur in Uganda
People want
or
dollars.
Africa?
People
Yes.
want dollars.
Yeah,
Everybody wants dollars. Everybody wants, a grant.
yeah,
Everybody wants that because they believe the projects are too huge
yeah,
to just start by themselves.
yeah,
But to me, bro, you'll agree with me that I've seen projects,
yeah.
I've seen innovations that doesn't need all that. I've seen innovations that needs 2 million shillings, 2 million Ugandan shillings. That's
Yeah.
about, I don't know, could be like 800K,
Yeah, yeah,
So to me, what I've seen is people think so big about innovations and they want to do something which is not in their scope. Someone wants to manufacture, wants to start assembling PCBs and stuff. And in Uganda, we don't have PCB printing, stuff. And when you look at smaller innovation, like someone is building an app, they don't need funding. You just need a server. You need to sit down, go to YouTube, learn how things are done, and look at how do I start marketing this. We have all the tools. So to me, people always run for funding, and if in case they don't get the funding, they stop the innovation. Yeah, to me, there are things we have stopped because the innovation is good, but needs a lot of resources.
yeah,
An example, we were building some AI model,
Yeah.
and we stopped training it because our computers could not train those models, needed GPUs. And GPUs are like 23 million. That's a lot of money for a startup or for someone to just walk in and buy. So we had to put them on hold, not until we get that right computer.
Yeah.
Because I saw a kid in the US that was on the dog team for Elon Musk, the 5 boys who are doing decrypting analysis and
Yeah.
the reports. One of them was picked because he did something really crazy. He's, I think, 19. He decrypted something that no one had decrypted it. But the only thing that made him to decrypt that was a powerful machine
Yeah.
he was using. So the innovation that stops because of the resources, not money,
access, yes,
but the computers, the equipments needed, but the others don't need all those equipments. And trust me, a lot of things, except for AI that is happening now, doesn't need the most powerful tools. What need the most powerful machines are video editing.
Yeah.
They absorb a lot. They need a lot processing, gaming, and so forth.
Yeah.
But with us in, let's say, coding, I'm building a website, I'm building an app. I don't need the fastest computer in the whole world. I just need something that can work. So I would summarize that by saying we have the syndrome that we need grants to make innovation work.
Yeah.
And then secondly, the supportive system from our governments is very low. They want things that are bought from out to support them. They want systems. An example, my country, like I think URI or something, they're not using system built by Ugandans. They buy system from India. These are things personal, I can build them.
Yeah.
If you give me the resources, give me the time, we can work on it. So we have a problem that not everybody supports what we're trying to, even our own government systems in Africa. They want things from outside.
Yeah. Yeah, and then also, like Northern Uganda has historically faced economical challenges, and then in terms of even like war, like even like when you map out Uganda, most conflict-prone regions are
The north.
usually like from the north. So how were you able to innovate even in conflict regions, in conflict situation, and how are you able to navigate life across these scenarios?
Well, the war has been a big syndrome as well
Yeah,
to a lot of us in Northern Uganda because, bro, the war was for 20 years.
yeah,
And this was in the early 2000s.
wow,
And I mean, in the 80s, in the 90s, in early 2000s. And to me, I'm not affected by the war because I was staying in the village. I was very young by then. I think the war stopped around 2004, 5. But it's been now 20 years
Yeah.
of no war.
Yeah.
No one is killing anybody.
Yeah.
No one is fighting in the bush.
Yeah.
No one is. People walk anytime. I move any time of the night.
Yeah.
So to me, I see the problem is not the country.
Yeah.
The problem is also is we are stuck that we have been in war.
Yeah.
The war ended 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And now we are 20 years ahead of the war.
Yeah.
So to me, the war syndrome has also been a big thing for northern Uganda, though there are some things that are affected. Now with the technology, I see no effect
Yeah.
of technology based on war. Because when there was war, nobody was using WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Nobody was on TikTok.
Yeah.
Nobody was on Facebook.
Yeah.
Nobody was on this. Nobody was. People even didn't have phones.
Yeah.
People just had you. Maybe in a village, 2 or 3 people have phones.
Yeah.
If there is a war happening somewhere, they have to run and communicate verbally. You have to blow a whistle. You have to do this. But when the war ended, that is when technology really started infiltrating in the north.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would encourage that we have been in that element that we have been part of the war, but there's no more war.
Yeah.
So we don't have any excuse to not develop because of the war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also you've moved from like the central Kampala, like that's what most people see. Like if you want tech, if you want innovation, you go to Kampala. But now you've done it like on the opposite side, you've decided to go north. Why north in terms of this tech and innovation and not the hub of Kampala where everything else is happening?
That's a question so many people ask me about. And always we try to respond to it is let me give an example on myself, because as I speak on as a company, but then I speak as me. I do a lot of inspirational speeches and words of inspiration to young people, podcasts and and my socials, and very inspiring.
Yes.
And a lot of these people believe in me. They believe, oh, Sedrick is this, is leading us the way, is doing this. You know, I mean, I can move to Kampala anytime, by the way. Sometimes I travel 3 times a week. 6 hours bus. 3 times a week I'm moving. But then there are so many people who cannot move to Kampala that time. There are things we learn in Kampala that if we were learning in the north, I think those people in the north would make a difference on how they do stuff. So we decided to have this back in the north because everybody is concentrating in the central. Now, if everybody's in the central, who gets to the north? Now, if the few of us who have been in the central, learned from there, gone to school, and absorbed, build the connection from there, we don't take it back home. Who will do so? That is the motivation that we believe. And secondly, the north is so virgin. I wish I had not said this on camera. It's virgin because everybody is concentrating on central. So we said, before the central people come, capitalize our market, monopolize our market, let's have the monopoly country in the north.
So
that's the motive. 2 motives: bring something home, but also explore the virgin land.
Amazing. Even speaking of the virgin land, we know like tech is exciting, and then the innovation and everything, new technology always coming up and about. So how are we able to maintain, let's say, like money wise, and then also to build more social capital and to make it profitable, and also narrate it to that social capital enterprise wing, whereby you are doing like mentorship and things, because most people will do like you're doing a lot of CSR. So how are you able to do like that CSR, the project that you're doing for the community, and also running a business, making it sustainable one and also profitable? How are you able to merge all those three?
Let me change the battery before we are disappointed.